Well, hello everybody. Here's the picture that we've got as far as how far we've got. This is the picture that we're attempting to paint. I'm not sure how this is going to go because I had the other cataract up last Thursday and my vision is decidedly peculiar at the moment. However, what I'm going to try to do is to put in a foreground and attend to these buildings over here and do something about this little passage of people in the front. That's the intention. Let us see what we shall see. Right, the front of the picture here is just in fact a wash to make it look interesting. And we were using, I think, alizarin, so we'll life just get interesting, isn't it? We'll have a go with this. Now that's a bit exciting. Well, you can always dull it down. So let's. Oh God! Sorry about that. That was blue splodges on the picture. No, sorry, pink splodges on the picture. My eyesight's not that bad. I think I want to make it a little bit bluer than that. And we were using ultramarine, won't we? Show the brush the ultramarine. Now, just to take the edge off it a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to wet the foreground.
I think it's mine, but just ignore it.
Right, okay.
Please, sorry.
That's okay, right? So I'm just going to run this in now. Oh, sorry, you shouldn't do that, but okay, just take it in one direction. And down here, there's a little bit of blue, grey. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I think that's more or less all right. What I am going to do is run a little bit of the blue while it's still wet at the back here, just to darken. Yeah, do as you're told, Steve. Right. Now what that does, just let me, it's a bit violent, but we can. One of the things about watercolor is it always dries lighter, and you think, oh, that's too much, and then it dries pale, and you think, oh, I didn't do enough. So I'm just going to leave it like that. When you want something like this foreground to lie down, you make a graduated wash. You either start light and go dark, as I've done here, and I did that deliberately because this is all dark here, or you start dark and go light, like you would if you were going away towards the horizon, because things grey and pale as they go towards the horizon. But if you make that graduated wash on your ground, all of a sudden it lies down, and that's nice. And I learned that very early on. I was painting the lawn in a picture, and it was standing up like a brick wall. And I said to George, "What do I do to make it lie down?" And it just darkened the far side, and off it went, and just lay down. Very, very obedient. So that's nice. So that's going to dry. Now, while that's drying, I'm going to do some work on this area over here. Can't work on there at the moment, and I want to do this bit here. So that's got to dry. Just let it get on. No, it's too big. Right. Okay. So I want to do something to this area over here just to make it look a little bit more interesting. Actually, I don't want to do too much on there because my focus is here, the mountain and the very pointy roof. That's the focus of the picture, and that's working fine. So I just want to put something in to say this is here, without saying, "Oh, look at me," you know. I'm important because he's not. Right, so thinking about the colors we've used ultramarine, and we've used burnt sienna. This is the painter's workhorse. Ultramarine and burnt sienna make delicious darks. And if you want it really dark, you have to have a lot of paint and not so much water. Did I bring a piece of paper? I was going to say I'll use the back of this, but okay, I'll use the front of this. No, it's okay, Pet. I can use this. Quite all right. So that's quite a nice dark, isn't it? Okay. I think because this is browny, I wanted a bit more brown, so I'm going to put a bit more brown in that to make it a brown colour. What's better? It's a bit more of a brown, isn't it? Right, so if I run the line along there, that's the edge of the roof there. And I'm just going to, I really want that to run a little bit. So I should have done that first. So I'm just running neat water across the bottom there. At least I was trying to run neat water across the bottom there. There we are. It's rolling now. Okay. That's okay. And I want to differentiate this a little bit, push it back a bit. So I'm just going to take that roof off up there. Not too worried about what the roof over there is doing. It's just, yeah, part of the picture. And if you cut it off by there, that's fine. What's going on back there? Well, that roof is light. Do I want it light? Okay. Again, there'll be a roof line just there. And I think I want to take that down a bit. And I used a purple, didn't I? So if I take the blue and add a touch of that to it. It's caught the light over there. I'm just going to make it dark for the hell of it. Because I want it to bring out the edge of the building there. So we'll do that. Just to make it a bit more interesting there. Oh, and there's a bit of stuffy up there too. This is a bit dark as well as captures the and dry the brush and just run the dry brush down the edge just to take off so that it's not quite so stark. Right, now I'm going to put that's what I was using. I'm going to put the windows in. They aren't actually attached so high up that they're under the eaves, but I rather like doing them that way, so I'm just going to pull them down there. And then just a line underneath the bottom of the thing. And then there's something here. Just going across there. And then that is quite dark. Just enough to make it into something. Back there. Now, how are you doing? I think I can work on top of that now. Okay, so I've got my dark color. I'm going to pull it down here. sort of bar across there, and it comes down here in a sort of funny way. Not quite sure what's there in places. There's something there, so we'll put something there, and then this line goes across the page. Now I'm going to have to darken that in front there because this is far too stark, but we'll do that in a minute. Right, this comes down here. We've got interesting little things happening there. I think there's a pot, and then there's a bit of a gap, and then there's another pot. Somewhere there's the grand entrance that you go through. I think that's something like that there. I can see a darkness there. And then we've got more of these pots here as we're going across. And hard to say what's going on there, but there's something going on there, so we'll just carry on doing little marks to say something is happening there. Right, coming along all right. Now, what we're going to do with that. Is drying the brush, and it's not exactly dry, it's sort of dry. Most of the moisture is taken off it. It just gives the ground somewhere to run. As I remember it, also use the little brush for this. There was some what do you call those things? Shutters on this building over here. They're a bit difficult to see. I think it's a 3-story building, so we'll put 3 stories of shutters in. Trouble with right, I move it up there a bit. I can get round the sides. Okay, so I think we've got shutters here with a window. There's probably one up there, and that one. There's only 3. And then there's another one here. And then there's more underneath. And the windows will have a little. And you can't see what's going on here. There's probably a door there. No, a little bit more important. And if I add a touch of brown to that, I can't really see the side of this building, but I'm pretty sure it's there. Right, I think that will do. Now then, we had a rather nice, this is the fiddly bit, you know, it's just sort of making it up largely because I can't really see what's there. So we did use green, so I remember it. We've got quite a nice green. This green that I'm mixing now is Viridian. I'll turn it around so that the camera can see. And if I add a touch of burnt sienna to that, there we are. It makes quite a nice dark green. So we'll put some dark green bushes here. And there's a climber going up the house here, all the way up here. And again, dry brush work. I'm just fiddling to turn it into something interesting. Put a few darks in there. It just makes it a little bit more real, just be a bit darker underneath. It's one of those things with, you know. Of course, I didn't put them over here, did I? Now, this is entirely made up. I can't really see what's going on there, but I seem to remember something like that over there. So, again, we just that's okay. There's a bit of blue over here. Which blue? I was using this one, wasn't I? I turned it around. So there's a bit of blue here. That's gone a bit dark. Don't lick your brush. Actually, it's less lethal now than it used to be. And there's a touch of red. So, that's the one we were using, isn't it? Touch of red there. A bit of red here. I think it's a person, actually. That's meant to be red, Steve. What's going on here? This is actually quite an interesting bit, isn't it? So we'll get that purpley colour and see if we can make it a bit more interesting than it is. Not quite sure what is going on. If you put something in, nobody's going to look, you know. You just assume that you know what you're doing and you put something in because it was there. It isn't there. So just to break up the strong lines. Wow. That's the brown. And that's the blue. It's practically neat paint, this. You need to put, where's the light coming? That's coming this way, so the shadows are on this side. And that's very dark in there, under the roof. There's bound to be some kind of post holding it up, isn't there? Now and again, they usually have something like that to make an entrance. That's a bit miserable, isn't it? What do I do with that? Can I move it? Yeah, yeah. Don't make it. No, I'm just going to block that because it's wet. I don't want it to. I want to put the bottom in the tree. The bush looks a bit. It's a bit too tidy here, isn't it? I don't really know what to do with it, to be honest. It just looks a bit too tidy to me.
Because of the very colourful climate.
Has it?
Yes.
You've got brilliant eyesight.
Could have.
Yes. How to get it light? Well, there's two or three ways to get it light. One is to actually lift.
Don't lick your brush, Steve.
No, it used to be that paints were made of poisonous stuff, and it really was dangerous to lick your brush. See, I'm lifting the color. I'm going to take it off the brush because otherwise you're just spreading it. I think that's helped a bit, hasn't it? Yeah. And that roof is a bit boring. I don't like the colour of it, I don't think. I've still got one white clear pot of water. It's because I've not used it. Have you noticed? I was watching a DVD of Hazel the other day and she had 3 dirty pots and I was so excited. Right, if we get the blue and I put some sort of that looks a bit better, doesn't it? Right. Just to, if we put that there, that'll do, won't it? Now there's a bit of shadow there. Now I'm really nitpicking, okay, but I'm allowed at this stage. This is casting a bit of a shadow on here, so you can put that in. Just helps to define, if you get the colour right. Shadow was what I said, wasn't it? Yeah, that sort of helps. That's a nasty dirty mark down there. What was I doing that? Very forgiving watercolour. Right, I think I'll stop playing now. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think that's not too bad at all. I think I've done as much as I want to do with that one now. It's just a little bit of animation there to make up the story of what has happened.
Were you able to lift it because it was transparent, too transparent together?
Yes, yes. The colours that I used to paint the whole picture are all transparent colours, and because of that, they lift very easily. None of them were staining colours. You can get transparent and staining, and but because they were transparent and lifting, I was able to lift that out. You don't get back to white. You can get back to white by scraping it with a sharp knife to create lines in it if you want. The thing I'd like you to take away with this is less detail at the edges of the picture, just enough to say there's something there. Graduate the wash to make the foreground lie down. And really, if you can't see what's there, basically put in what you can see or something vaguely like it. And don't say, well, there must have been people, and start drawing little people in, you know, because at that distance you don't really see them. I think that's a white shirt, but I didn't leave it out, and it's not important. So we'll leave that. Any questions? Well, that's it, Rachel.